What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing? As you can see from the title, just wanted to make another video on the NoFap. So, yeah, want to let you guys know the long-term benefits of being on this journey long-term and what to expect once you've gotten over the hurdle of a month or two or a year. So, long-term benefits, right? By now, you're probably experiencing your superpowers if you're watching this and you are wondering, if you haven't experienced it yet, if they'll ever come to be. So they will. You will experience some differences in your life as the weeks and the months roll into a full old year. You'll start to experience them. So if you're 2 weeks in or 1 month in, don't worry. Things will start changing for you. Now, for a lot of you guys, you're probably wondering like when you're going to get that confidence, that boost, or when are people going to start noticing you. It works like that, but not necessarily. So if you got your headphones in and you're looking at the ground all the time, you're not paying attention to your surroundings, you may not notice any difference. Okay. And if you're not working out, you're not actively trying to fill up your life with useful things. If you go to work and you come home, come home, keep to yourself, do your normal routine. Maybe you go play pool, maybe you go out and do stuff and you just don't really interact too much with the opposite sex, then yeah, you may not notice any differences. But if you do head out, like say to the bar or to like the mall or to the library or to the coffee shop where you can just kind of bask in yourself and just chill alone, you'll notice you'll find yourself trying to make conversation with other people, with people of the opposite sex. Okay, that will naturally happen over time. Okay, so right now you may kind of like be in your 1 week, 2 week situation where you're not feeling that you're getting any benefits, but slowly but surely you'll start to realize that your mind is a lot quicker. You're not as agreeable. You become more. If you're not a big talker, you're not going to be a big talker. But in your mind, your inner voice, you'll start talking to yourself and getting yourself to do things. When you don't want to do something, that inner voice will have that sort of seriousness behind you, forcing you to push forward. And that's like the best thing ever. Normally, when you're fapping on and on and on, or you're just like on the internet, being a scumbag, your inner voice tends to just dim out and die out, and you're just like on autopilot, day after day, month after month, year after year, not progressing. So when you do start this, first, depending on how long you've been in that dark room doing what you do, it'll take a lot longer for you to come out of that, for your powers to kick in. Okay, it's going to take a lot longer for that to happen, but once they do, so I would say 3 months. That's why people say it's a 6 month, 90 days, 3 month journey. It's a lot longer for some other people, so you have to understand that it's not going to be the same for everybody else. Now, some of the benefits, a lot of people say there's a lot of benefits, as in you get sort of a like people always like to say that people can recognize that you're on NoFap. Nobody can recognize you're on NoFap, right? But what can happen, what does tend to happen, is that your behavior and your mannerisms like change slightly, and people, like your body language and the way you talk and just the decisions you make, per second throughout the day, slightly changes, ever so slightly, day by day. And if someone hasn't seen you in a while, people do recognize these small little changes. You yourself may not, but eventually you realize that your whole entire routine is switched up. You've changed everything up slowly but surely. You're not doing the same things that you normally would do. And I don't mean just by not fapping. You just have a different take on life, and what you want to do, you do it, and you go after what you want to do quite vigorously, quite aggressively. And normally you wouldn't be that way unless you're just naturally that way. And even if you were, you'd be going after what you want more aggressively, more tactfully, more precise, and you'll naturally find yourself being more busy. It's just the nature of it. Okay. Now, like I said, people, you getting more attention from the opposite sex. Yeah, it's gonna happen because your mannerisms, your behavior is gonna slightly change. You're like, if you're currently doing this right now, and you're saying my behavior hasn't changed at all. What are you talking about? For example, if you're say you're the way you behave will change. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Everyone's behavior is different. So if you're naturally an extrovert, you're naturally a really talkative person, what may happen is that you wouldn't talk so much with a high pitched voice. Maybe that might adjust to a deeper voice. It may not. You may slow down your speed of talking. You may not talk at all. You may just have you may just be comfortable with silence. You might just say hey to somebody, talk to somebody, and then be comfortable in silence and not fill it up with just talk. You may be more comfortable even being silent and let the other person speak. So what changes, it changes for everybody, but it's noticeable, and those changes are some way, somehow just more attractive to the opposite sex. It's being for women and for men. So for women like to talk a lot. So I don't know what it'll be like for them. I'm not a woman, but I know that they are more attractive when they do it. Just I know, I do know, but I don't know how and what way. So I couldn't speak for you guys. For you ladies, if you guys ladies know, we'd like to know, like, if you're on NoFap, women normally don't have a problem with it, but they do. Like, some women do have problems with online abuse, abusing their online privileges. So, but I don't really know how that works. But for us here, us fellas, if you start going to the gym, expect to get some pretty startling gains. Expect to put on more muscle, have more energy, but don't burn yourself out. Like, spread it out. Watch some YouTube channels. Like, spread out your workouts into once every other day. Don't go every day. Going every day, you'll get a burnout. You'll have enough energy to go every day, but don't do that. You want to spread it out. In terms of improving your financial situation, I would say you would want to spend time in improving yourself and focusing on improving your financial situation. Now, improving your financial situation is going to be different for every person. Okay, you're going to want to focus in on what you want. Do you want to stay in your industry, or do you want to hop out of your industry into a new industry? If you're going to be getting out of your industry, you have to know, okay, is there some schooling involved? Like, what steps do I have to take to get out of my industry, or what steps do I have to take to stay in my industry and elevate? Okay, is it even possible to elevate? Is there anything I can do? So if there's an exam you can take, okay, a course that you have to take, or an exam, take that exam for what you're trying to get into, or for what you're trying to the next position up. Now, if you're working for someone, most likely there's no exam to take to automatically boost your salary. However, if you can see what's in your field and what credentials you can now get those credentials. If you can see what's related to your field or what your interest is, take those courses, prepare for that exam while you're at work. This is like a pretty common thing to do, but now that you have more energy and you're able to say you can stay up 1 hour more at night in the nighttime, or you can stay up maybe 2 hours more, or let's say you wake up 1 hour earlier and you go to bed 1 hour later. So, okay, you have 2 hours extra in the day. It's pretty quiet. I like the mornings, okay, because in the mornings it's quiet, it's cold. You're clean when you get out of bed, crisp and clean. You're able to download a lot of information. You're able to suck in a lot of information. All right, now you want to be really tactful about this. When you wake up, you want to quickly throw some cold water on your face, and whatever you've got ready prepared, get into it. You only need like 45 minutes to get through a lot of information. So if you're a speedy reader, if you're able to quickly get through some books in the morning time, it's perfect. And why I like the nighttime is because again, it's quiet. Things quieten down. It's dark. You put on your little lamp, open that book again, and just review it and do a few more chapters ahead. Simple, just like homework, just like school. If you're in school, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. When you're in college and high school, you know the drill. Okay, you're cramming for a test. The test is like 2 days. But if you're preparing for an exam and there's no pressure on you to do anything, I mean, it's all on you. You got to push yourself. That little voice in your head, behind your head, is going to be talking to you like, man, I could do this. I mean, it's right here. These are the tools. All I got to do is download them. Boom, got the power. So superpowers are nothing without you utilizing them, okay? If you do not use your superpowers, if you do not utilize your superpowers, they're totally worthless, okay? Yeah, you can get some girls. Yeah, you can get some attention. Yeah, you can get some money. Of course you can get some money without doing anything, all right? But what you want to do, right, is you want to be tactful. You want to zone in on your strengths and zone in on your weaknesses, and then see, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. If I take this exam or if I take these courses, I'll be much better off. You'll be much better off. And it's not like a precise course. Everyone's situation is different, okay? Everyone's life path is different. Like I've heard stories of people, oh man, everyone's story is different and people got some awesome stories. You want to keep company with people who are making moves. Now, you're not going to know who's making moves because people are quiet. Some people are loud about their moves. They want to like flash it, and they're flashing. I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. This is what it's up. But a lot of people are like snakes in the grass, man. They're just moving around quietly. You wouldn't even know they're doing anything. It's kind of like you're in high school and it's a graduation, and you've been blazing the whole time. You haven't been paying attention. And when it comes time to graduate, these dudes that you were blazing with, they're all graduating, going to college. You're like, what the hell? Y'all were studying the whole time? Exactly. So, but life is not over, okay? For you guys who are young, it's even better. For you guys who are old, who have experience, it's even better. Because with experience, when you have experience and you have some skin of the game, as I like to say, and you put it, like when you push yourself, when you self-teach yourself, right? When you study on your own and push yourself, it's way better than any instructor, because what you get out of the information is going to be, it can be quite life-changing, okay? So that's what you want to do. You want to start using your mind, okay? Don't just settle. Don't just stay on cruise control every day you go to work. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go to work. That's all I do, okay? I can understand. Starting a business? No, why would you take that leap? You want to be financially stable. You don't want to quit your job and start a business and have it fail, because a lot of times businesses fail. So that's not a way to go. But hey, you might want to take an exam and move up in your industry or get into a new industry. Another thing I would say is to get a side hustle. Real estate's very good. It's a very good market to get into, real estate. But again, that takes an exam. You have to get your licensing, and then you have to work for another company. But I've heard there's ways around that. I think it's a 1 year probationary period of working for a company, and then you can branch off on your own, start your own business. So that's actually something that's very interesting to do. Investing, like becoming a broker, investing online, using the stock market. Right now we have the whole entire market right now is doing this right now. As we speak, the whole entire market all over the world is doing this. Some stocks were down just last week. I was like, damn, it's time to buy. Everyone's like, yeah, it's scary. I'm like, this is an open market, time to buy. So you have to be prepared like this. So a lot of times you have to educate yourself to know, have to have a little bit of money, have a little bit of skin in the game to start investing in these stocks. Right now, say if you don't have any money, okay, cool, just chill. Don't do that. Don't even listen to what I said. But once you educate yourself, once you're able to quickly move funds, when you're able to invest, you want to get out of the 9 to 5 work beat kind of thing, and you want to have a side hustle that creates. You want to have you want to have another job, okay, outside of your regular job, maybe on the weekends, that creates enough 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 finances for you to invest. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and the only way to do that is by taking some exams. So if you have no skill set to have that side job or business, you have to now get the skill set. And the only way you're gonna get the skill set is to take the exams, because everything is regulated in the United States and basically around the whole entire world. Now, if you're living in the third world country, it's a lot easier. Okay, I have a brother living in Nigeria, third world. Okay, it's not a lot easier. It's not a lot easier, but when you're living in the third world, say if you're watching this, you're living in the hell is this? If you're watching this and you're living in China, okay, China may be a little bit more difficult, but still the margins are very, very high. So we have a problem right now in the United States. Okay, you go try to buy these freaking masks. Okay, these masks are impossible to find. Okay, and right now I have a friend that's in China. He started making masks. Now he's making bank. Okay, just for this period of time. But however, in thinking long term, I think he bought like a small machine to start manufacturing them, and now he's making some money. So there's these margins that you have. The machine, I think, was like $14,000 to $15,000. So there's these margins that you can create, but you have to have some side money to invest. Okay, but in a different, every economy is different, and entering certain businesses are a lot easier when you're in a totally different economy. In America, it's a lot more difficult. Okay, there's a lot more you have to buy, but it's not impossible, but it's just a bigger investment is what I wanted to say. It's a bigger investment, and it's much more regulated. But if you take certain certifications, very simple. You can get your foot in the door, and you can help people out too at the same time. You know, you can help someone find their dream home. You can help someone invest their money that they don't have the time to figure out. There's a lot of avenues to really help people out, and at the same time make some profits for yourself. Now, if you're still on this journey and you're trying to figure out what to do, just sit back and write it down. Write down what you want to do first. Okay, write down, write down what you want. Okay, I want a $1 million house. You write it down. Okay, and then you write down, okay, what do you need to do it? You don't know what you need to do it, but you know you need to make some money. So you go ahead and write that down. And as silly as it sounds, at least that'll give you the skeleton of your treasure chest. Okay, you have to have some sort of skeleton. Start to pick away here and pick away there. You know, write down your schedule. I think I've said this before, maybe not. Write down your schedule and then know exactly how much time you have in the day. And then leave some space for some time for you, 30, 40 minutes. That's really all you need. You need 30, 40 minutes, and you'll be good, In 1 month, you would have achieved some goals, and then you'll be on to your next goal. But then is time management is really important. It's so important. Time management is so important when trying to succeed. But at the same time, once you have a good schedule that's revolving around you moving forward slowly and getting that snowball effect, okay, instead of just, you kind of keep moving and you're not growing. Growth is really important. And I'm not talking about growth as when you're in a job and you're growing, you're able to save some money. That's also a snowball effect. So that's very, very much a great way to grow. However, you always have to have an additional means of income. Very important. Have an additional means of income and not just thinking about it or talking about it, actually having it, okay? So yeah, I say real estate and financial investing is very, very good. Very, very, very good. Very, very, very good. So if you guys have any questions, ask me in the comment section below. You guys have a fantastic week. Happy Hump Day.